Hey guys, it's Jimmy from A Kid's Opinion, and today we're looking at the new movie, Godzilla vs. Kong. So in my Godzilla review, I had this guy Godzilla, and I know it's from the 2005 King Kong movie, but I also have a poster from when I went to Universal Studios in 2016, I believe. Um, and yeah, so like I said, so I've seen the 2005 movie, even though it's not in the MonsterVerse, and I've seen all the other MonsterVerse movies as well. And then yesterday I saw Godzilla vs. Kong, the new 2021 one, and well, let's talk about it. So first of all, I want to say that this, I will be talking about spoilers in this. Also, I want to say good job to whoever did the trailers for this movie. Because at first, when I saw the trailers, I'm like, they are giving way too much about the plot away. I mean, not the plot, just giving way too much away with the action. And they really didn't. They didn't give away Mechagodzilla away, which I did kind of know a little bit, but I thought it was just going to be a post-credit scene. Once they talk about Apex, I immediately knew that, Mechagodzilla was going to be, like, found, but I thought it was going to be at the very end. I really liked how they, sorry, I will talk about that a little later. Um, I, I really do like how they, probably should include that. And I do like how they did the trailers. They gave nothing away about the plot or Mechagodzilla, or Apex, I think, for that matter. So congratulations, trailer people. You've got my approval. Or trailer editors, I should say. Now, let's start off with the good. First of all, let's start so the action. The action was, I mean, come on, you get, like, King Kong punching Godzilla in the face. You get them wrestling, and then at the end, they're, like, crashing through buildings with each other. You got Mechagodzilla coming in, they're, like, beating him up. And even the part where, like, Godzilla's trying to fight Mechagodzilla, but Mechagodzilla's beating him up. That was just a really cool part. And then the final battle also. The final battle was probably the best action scene out of all of them. I really did like that. The final battle where you get, I mean, at first I'm like, is it like kind of, is it like kind of a cheat how they had Godzilla and King Kong join forces? I don't really think that they took the easy way out. I still like what they did, even though it could be considered an easy way out. And another thing is Mechagodzilla and Apex were really, I really like how they included them into the plot. It wasn't like overshadowing Godzilla and Kong fighting. At least in the second half of the movie, it wasn't overshadowing them. But how they had Millie Bobby Brown, the kid, the person who played Russell in Deadpool 2, and Brian Tyree Henry, how they were on their journey. I actually didn't think that they overshadowed it, and what I also liked with them, like, tying into that is, in the end, when they're trying to fluster up, Mechagodzilla, I was so hoping that they wouldn't be the ones to take down Mechagodzilla, and I like how they did it. So they still had their kind of a moment of power when they were able to fluster Mechagodzilla. However, King Kong and Godzilla, well, mainly King Kong, were the ones that were actually able to take Mechagodzilla down. I also liked the mystery of Apex and how they included skull crawlers, because skull crawlers were awesome and honestly did freak me out in Kong Skull Island. And another really good thing about this is the second half of the movie, how they tied it in with Hollow Earth, had action sprinkled out through there, but not just one big action sequence. I really did like how they did the Hollow Earth, and how they tied in the plot with there. I mean, the characters were, like, okay. I guess how, but some of them got like moments in the end, but they weren't like giant moments. That wasn't, I feel like King Kong and Godzilla, really got to shine in the second half as they should have. Well, more King Kong than Godzilla, which I felt like how that was always going to be. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a sec. Where was I? Oh yeah, the second half of the movie was awesome. You got the giant fight scene in Hong Kong. A little funny story. Um, Hong Kong and Florida were like the two main points in this, and after I watched that, I was on HBO Max. I watched Geostorm with my brother, and two things in there were Florida and Hong Kong, and it was kind of funny. And I was just watching Pacific Rim right now, and Pacific Rim had Hong Kong in there. So, a little funny. Also, you might get a Pacific Rim review. So, the second half of this movie was just wow. I really, really liked how the plot tied in, but you also got to see Godzilla and Kong fight. The plot didn't overshadow it like it did in Godzilla. So, I can't remember if Adam Wingard wrote this or not, but if you did, Adam Wingard, good job. And then the looks of the creatures. They looked very ferocious. They didn't look stupid. Like, no offense, as much as I have respect for the original movies, they did look kind of stupid, especially, Kong. He actually both of them. Kong really did look like an action figure whenever they would fight. Like, especially in, like, the original Godzilla movie when he has a train in his mouth. I think I could do that with this guy I have right here. Um, but they really did make them look huge and menacing. And even Kong's axe is like 10, 11 stories tall. It's massive. Um, yeah, so the looks of the creatures, like, even Mechagodzilla look cool. And Brian Tyree, I only wrote Brian Tyree, sorry. Brian Tyree Henry in his second half plot line. I really liked how they went on that journey in the second half with trying to uncover what Apex is doing. I thought that was cool because they got to be doing stuff without overshadowing everything that's happening with Godzilla and Kong, which I did like that second half plot line because I always like the mystery and stuff, uncovering things, and that's what this was. So they had both those. They had giant monster spectacle crash, punching each other in the face, smashing each other to the ground, and it also had that cool undercovering the secrets type of thing that was going on. And Hollow Earth also ties into like the second half plot line. Hollow Earth looked awesome, and at first I was like, I'm not sure. This reminds me too much of what I saw Pacific Rim. I've seen clips of it, but not very much. With them in these super suits, but overall I really did like the Hollow Earth thing. Because it added some intrigue to where did the Titans come from to the center of the earth, and it's different. Like, you didn't expect it to happen, and I actually liked it because you also got kind of some King Kong kind of Skull Island action, but not in Skull Island when he's taking down these creatures down there. You did get to see some creature action. Which all MonsterVerse movies, you saw monsters eating people. Like, all four of these had, like, side monsters killing and eating people, which is a great part in what the MonsterVerse have been doing. Making the creatures look actually pretty cool. And what they're doing to be very high scale. And that is still in here with, giant crazy monsters, even though like all monsters, not just Godzilla, King Kong, and Mechagodzilla. You got these skull crawlers are in here and the little bat type creatures. So Hollow Earth was another thing I did enjoy about this movie. Now let's move on to the bad. And I was unsure of putting this into the mix, but I realized that I disliked this more than I liked it. Alexander Skarsgård. He didn't give a bad performance, I guess. He just didn't. I didn't care about him at all. I just didn't care if he lived really. Didn't care if he died. I just didn't care about his character at all. I know he's supposed to have this little, like, emotional thing with his, I think it was Alexander Skarsgård. I don't know who else it would be. With his brother dying, but still didn't feel as emotional. The first half of the movie was another bad thing that I thought was bad. I mean, it was boring at times. This movie shouldn't be boring. How about just maybe add some more, maybe just add a scene where they try to, instead of just showing Kong being on the boat, show a scene where they're trying to not euthanize, can't talk, where they're trying to sedate Kong, but that's not working. Just add that scene in. Oh yeah, there was a light bulb right there. I just had an idea of a scene they should have added. Yeah, it's embarrassing when that happens, but come on, add that scene in. Like, yeah, this movie, I'll talk about my final thoughts in a little bit. The first half, I just felt like they could have done more. And it took, another bad thing, it took way too long to get going. Like, Millie Bobby Brown and Russell, I'm just gonna call him Russell, and and their search to find Brian Tyree Henry's character, I didn't find that interesting very much. I thought it was kind of boring, if anything. I, I, I just didn't, I just thought it wasn't super interesting, like it should have been. There's still intrigue, but it wasn't as intriguing enough, and it took like 40 minutes just to get to the action. I mean, even Godzilla had some action before. Yeah, even Godzilla had action before that, like the 30-minute part. Um, and Kong had, yeah, I'm pretty sure Kong had action before that. I'm sure Kong Skull Island. I'm trying to remember Kong Skull Island. Yeah, they did have action before that, and I felt like this just took too long. And when we're looking at the trailers, I mean, I guess the other movies, especially Kong Skull Island, had world building that made it interesting, but there wasn't as much world building here because this like should be the end game of the MonsterVerse. Yeah, I know you're introducing Hollow Earth, but it shouldn't take this long to get to, and it did take way too long. It took way too long to get going. And my final thoughts is this movie was a disappointment. It was disappointing to me. It was not a bad movie. But it was disappointing to me. I thought it was disappointing, and that's not good. That's not good when this movie is a disappointment. It wasn't a bad movie. I just felt like it could have been better, and it makes me sad that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Because even though I said that I loved the final battle, I thought that the fight with Mechagodzilla, Kong and Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, could have been longer. I felt like the movie could have been longer as well. You could have added more scenes in there that would have had more action. It was still a good movie though. I would give it an 8.3 out of 10 overall, which I didn't want to give it this low of a rating, but when I keep thinking back, I'm kind of sad that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Still a good movie though, still a good movie. I don't want to, and this is why sometimes I think I should reverse my bad and good, so I don't end on my bad thoughts because it might kind of take away from the movie, or show whenever I do a show review. Sorry. So yeah, I recommend going out to watch it if you have HBO Max. It's still still a very good movie, and you do get to see the monster action. well, two things. Yeah, you get to see monsters fighting each other, and it is on a huge level. So, yes, please like and subscribe. Comment in the comment section for suggestions and recommendations on movies and TV shows that I should review, because I'm not sure I'm going to be doing my Batman stuff. I'm going to try to watch all the John Wick movies and review, and not review, and rank them with nobody. Mortal Kombat doesn't come out for almost a month, so I've just got like a month to do whatever. So I would like recommendations for movies and TV shows, because you might get Pacific Rim reviews. I'm not sure. It depends how much I like them. You're getting at least one Godzilla, MonsterVerse ranking, maybe a second with Final Battles. So I'm Jimmy from A Kid's Opinion, and be good people.